1, 2, 3. So this is with gain at 5. We'll see how, if that's better or not. Right, so here we are. We'll do our review now of the Honda VFR 750 4th generation 1996. She and I have been together for almost a year now, so I think it's probably fitting time now to do a review of her. Now, as I said before, I've changed the suspension, I've upgraded the springs for my weight, and I've dialed in the rear shock according to Grok AI, what the settings should be, and that with the 3rd gen 8-spoke rear wheel and the 180 section tyre, this is the basis for the handling of this review. Those are the underpinned, that's the gear that she's running with, and I have to say that she handles absolutely sublimely. Best handling bike I have ever had. She just wants to sit in a corner and just grunt out. She just has this breadth of power through the rev range, which is seamless. I've had many people say, "Oh, that engine is like a Swiss watch." It bloody is. She just pulls through the entire rev range, and she just builds and builds and builds. The low down grunt can get you happily out of corners. She's got plenty of shove, and coming from 1000 V twin, that's saying something. She's not got like gobs of power. I mean, it's not like she's 180 brake horsepower or something. She's only got 100 horses. I think it's around about 60 foot-pound of torque, and she just, for the road, she just makes sense. Absolutely just makes perfect sense for the road. You can use the entire rev range and not get into too much trouble. You can keep up with the latest sports bikes and not get left behind. The handling of her, you can keep up with pretty much everything in corners. She doesn't feel too weighty. She's 210 kilograms, I think, wet, maybe a bit more. But the only time I feel the weight is slow speed maneuvering. I feel like she's a bit top heavy with a full tank. Tank range, I've gone up to like 205 miles on the trip, and the fuel light still hasn't come on, and she's had maybe like 2-3 litres left. So mileage on her really just fits that sports touring kind of niche that Honda tried to put her in, well, basically commanded for those years, and I can see why. I mean, I've read so many VFR reviews, and all of them are true. All of them make sense. She can do sport, she can do touring, she can do commuting. She can do all three. I'm 6'2". I've got a little bit of weight on my wrists. Not an awful lot. She did have spacers to lift up the handlebars by about 40 mil, I think. But when I put them back on, I found that the kill switch there basically rubbed against the fairing of the screen, and if you went from lock to lock, it would actually, you know, flick the switch over and kill the engine. So I thought, well, I'm not having that back on. But I feel that I don't need it. I'm quite happy with the seating position. The seat on her is from factory, standard seat, and I've ridden for an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, and other than having stiff legs, my backside wasn't complaining. What a glorious bike. I've had reservations about her being a bit of a characterless, boring bike, but she certainly isn't. Drop her down a gear, or drop her even down 2 gears, and she just rockets off. Let's see if we can do a little bit of spirited riding down this back road. Hopefully neither of these 2 cars are turning left. If fate would have it. Oh, look at this joy. Hump, left. But she does, she just keeps going. She just builds. And around about 7,000 revs, she really takes off into that inline 4 kind of characteristic. So let's calm down a bit here where the van pulls out. But yes, I can't find something that I can say I'm annoyed about. I just can't. She is so well put together. You take the fairings off and you have a look behind the fairing, and you see how well this thing has been made. There's even rubber kind of sheets to guard the battery bay, and all this attention to detail has been put into it. It's a work of absolute craftsmanship, and I don't know what more recent Hondas are like, but I don't know if they've made anything of the like since. She's just so well made. The brakes on her, the dual disc, 2-pot calipers. They do the job. You give them a good squeeze, they'll slow you down for whatever's going on the road. They're not as bitey, as powerful as like Brembo or 4-pot radial mounted calipers, but they do. They work. You put some good pads in there, maybe even some braided lines. These still have the original rubber hoses, so they've probably got a bit of sponge on them, but they are good. They do the job. I normally brake with the rear brake first and then the front, and I think that's just a habit I've got from riding around on twins, because I just that braking method technique seemed to work well on twins. Just I suppose with the engine braking being so good, just a little bit of rear brake and then just tap the front whenever you needed a bit more. It just seemed to smooth out the ride a hell of a lot more. What more can I say about the VFR? It's true. It's true what they've said about it. It is the master, or is it the jack of all trades, or the master of all trades? One of the two. Even all three. Whatever. What the fuck. You can commute on it, you can tour on it, and you can have a bit of a fun, scratchy weekend with it too. It's capable of doing all three. It's not the master of any of those, but I don't know. I have this thing where I look at the bike and I kind of wonder, what is it I don't like about this bike? And I can't find anything that I don't like about this bike. I love the styling of it, I love the comfort of it, I love the fuel economy, the range you can get on a tank on it. I love the engine characteristics, the way it delivers the power. That V4 engine has just got everything of that an inline 4 has, and it's got a bit of what the V twin has down in low revs. The exhaust on it, she still has the standard downpipes, and I'm planning at some point to change them to the stainless one, because that mild steel is just going to get eaten away eventually, and I might have to change the exhaust can on it. The exhaust can is it's a bolt-on, slip-on. It's called Stain Tune, and I think it's an Australian high-level exhaust pipe. It's a nice sounding can. It's not too loud. It's not quiet either. It's not obnoxiously loud. You know, like the SC Project exhaust. I love the sound of them, but I couldn't live with that kind of level of noise every morning when I start the bike up in the morning in my neighborhood. That would just really make me public enemy number one. But I'll tell you, if you've never ridden a VFR, find yourself a really good condition one. Really good condition one. I mean, look at that. Look at the dash. It's almost fucking timeless. Nearly 30 years old, and it doesn't look that dated. I've seen some dashboards of some 90s bikes, and they do look dated. You can see the foam start to go away around the rev counter and all that kind of malarkey. CB1000 or CBR1000, that looks dated, but this just looks clean, and it looks like it's all fitted together. But you know, I suppose like people have commented, the bike is like a Swiss watch. It is well made. And this guy is getting a bit sporty. Are you turning off or are you staying on? Kind of ruining my road. Well, anyway, I think that's about as much as I can say for the VFR. I would genuinely say, if you're interested in one, go find one and take it for a test drive, because they are worth it. They are definitely worth it. Mine came with heater grips and an electronic Scott Euler. Yes, I suppose that's it. That's it. Normally when I look at the bike, I'm tinkering with it to fix it or to adjust something, and that's what I find hard about this bike, is that I look at it and I've got nothing to do except from clean it. And maybe that's just something I need to go buy a project bike. That's what I ultimately need to do, is find something that needs constant tinkering and leave this one alone, because it just has everything sorted. There's nothing to tinker with. It's almost, could we say, the perfect motorcycle. I don't know why I said that, or should I have said that? But I think what Honda need to do in the modern age, because I've ridden the new VFR 800 and it looks, I kind of like the look, so I like the look of the new VFR, but I think they need to come back to this model. They need to come back to the 4th gen and pick up where it left off, and I think that, and maybe a 900, they just need to do something to kind of put it back in the game. Because you have all these bikes now, like the Z1000 Ninja with 148 brake horsepower and all of its bells and whistles. That is the benchmark Honda need to kind of look at and think, right, how do we make the VFR compete? Where are you going? That's what they need to look at and say, right, what do we need to put ourselves in the ballpark to compete with bikes like that? And I think Honda, if you come back to this bike, the styling of this bike, I think that's probably, if you're ever going to do another VFR, that's where you need to go. But anyway, that's it. Any comments, just leave them down below. Let me know if I've missed anything out. I think I've got it all. Handling, brakes, fuel, engine. Yeah, that's it. Alright, take care. Peace out.